Welcome to Shooting It Straight with Stan. I'm Stan, the Annuity Man, your host. Today's topic is, why is DC attacking Roth IRAs? Roth IRAs are great, right? You pay the taxes up front, you put your money in, and then when you pull the money out, it's tax-free. Fantastic. But I do know this. I do know that DC, from the day they implemented that, they're trying to figure out how to tax it. And recently, one of the smart guys in the room, a billionaire named Peter Thiel, I think that's the way to pronounce his last name. He followed the rules, and then in the late 90s, when the Roths were first introduced, he put his money in, the $2,000 or whatever. It's now worth $5 billion with a B dollars. So this cat has a Roth IRA with $5 billion, which means he can take out tax-free. And of course, that just makes those DC politicians mad. Like, well, that's not fair. That's not fair that this billionaire has this bill. He can take it out tax-free. We're going to have to put limitations on it. Even though he followed the rules. Okay. That's the reason that you're reading some things about the DC politicians going after, or at least tiptoeing around, the possibility of changing some of the rules with Roth IRAs. I have warned people about this from the time that they came out. I tell people all the time, DC looks at Roth IRA holders as a voting block, and it's a very small voting block, so they have no problem pissing you off and changing the rules. And they're going to try to frame it, in my opinion, that these ultra rich are taking advantage. It's not fair. It's not fair, Stan the Annuity Man, that Peter Thiel gets the $5 billion tax-free distribution from his Roth. They're using him as an excuse, but don't kid yourself. They're trying to tax you. They printed all this money. They got to figure out how to pay for things. But if you say, Stan the Annuity Man, why are they going after Roths all of a sudden? After all this, aren't they going to keep their promises? Let's hope so, but they might not. But the reason is Peter Thiel. And by the way, he doesn't care because he's a billionaire. But that's the reason. Hey, thanks for joining me. See you next time.